Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. In the early morning of November 6, 2024, former U.S. President and Republican presidential candidate Trump solemnly announced in Florida that he had won the 2024 presidential election and would serve as the 47th President of the United States. There are significant differences between Trump and Biden on many policies, and these differences are particularly prominent in the fields of AI and chips. First of all, regarding the development of AI, Trump prefers to relax the supervision of AI and advocates strengthening the application of AI in the military field. In contrast, the Biden administration is paying more attention to the supervision of AI to prevent it from infringing on citizens' privacy and rights. Secondly, in terms of chip policy, the Biden administration is actively promoting the expansion of semiconductor manufacturing based on the Chip and Science Act. However, Trump has a different view on this. He has publicly opposed the CHIP Act and advocated using tariffs instead of government spending to attract overseas companies to set up factories in the United States. Despite this, both are trying to restrict the Chinese chip industry development. Trump also accused Taiwan of stealing U.S. chip technology and threatened to impose tariffs on Taiwanese chips. The Biden administration fully recognizes Taiwan's core position in the global chip supply chain, especially the role that TSMC's large-scale chip production plays in promoting the U.S. economy. Therefore, after Trump returns to the White House, he is expected to make major adjustments to the U.S. chip policy. This change may have a profound impact on the global chip industry pattern. It is worth mentioning that the core goal of the Chip and Science Act, officially signed by Biden on August 9, 2022, is to enhance the competitiveness of the United States in the global chip field while weakening the chip industry strength of other countries. The bill proposes to provide $52.7 billion in subsidies and tax incentives, aiming to attract global wafer manufacturing companies to invest and build factories in the United States. But at the same time, the bill also clearly stipulates that companies that enjoy these subsidies are not allowed to build advanced chip production lines in China. In addition, the bill also allocates up to $280 billion to support research and development of cutting-edge technologies. Inspired by the bill, TSMC, the global chip foundry leader, has invested $40 billion to build 2 advanced wafer factories in Phoenix, Arizona. These factories will use cutting-edge 4 nanometers and 3 nanometers manufacturing processes. However, with Trump re-elected, the future implementation of this law is full of uncertainty. In December 2022, a ground aircraft relocation ceremony was held in the United States. Many industry leaders such as TSMC founder Zhong Zhongmo, Apple CEO Cook, NVIDIA founder Huang Zhenhun, AMD founder Lisa Su, etc. gathered together. Even U.S. President Biden came to the scene to express his congratulations. At this ceremony, Apple and NVIDIA publicly announced that they would place orders with TSMC's U.S. factories, demonstrating their recognition and trust in TSMC's technical strength. From the photos of the scene, you can see faces with yellow skin and dark eyes such as Su Zifeng, Huang Renxuan, Liu Daing, Wei Zhijia, and Zhong Zhongmo, and you can't help but feel a surge of complex emotions in your heart. China's chip industry has been constrained by our own people for a long time, which makes people feel extremely bitter and painful. Now that Trump is in the White House again, his political differences with Biden have long been an open secret. Trump has clearly opposed the CHIP Act. He believes that this subsidy involving tens of billions of dollars is a complete waste of money. Trump bluntly pointed out that China has invested billions of dollars in those already wealthy companies, and the U.S. government can force these chip companies to build wafer factories in the United States at their own expense by imposing import tariffs. He firmly believes that in this way, the U.S. government does not even need to spend a dime, and these companies will take the initiative to invest in building factories. Therefore, Trump is likely to repeal the Chip and Science Act after taking office. However, this does not mean that he will change his chip policy towards China. On the contrary, he may continue to restrict the development of Chinese chips in another way. For chip companies in Taiwan province of China such as TSMC, their good days may be coming to an end. Trump has expressed strong dissatisfaction with these companies, especially TSMC's position in the U.S. chip industry. He even accused they of stealing China's chip business, and compared Taiwan province of China's chip supply to the United States to gangster-style extortion of protection fees. Trump admitted that when he saw China spending huge sums of money to have Taiwan manufacture chips, he realized that this was not a long-term solution. He believes that since Taiwan needs China's protection, they should pay protection fees for it. Although the big guys in the chip industry once strongly opposed this view and even ridiculed Trump's remarks, now that the election results have been settled and Trump is in power, those objections and ridiculing may be transformed into support and approval. As the world's leader in wafer foundry, TSMC will undoubtedly become the focus of the Trump administration's crackdowns. First and foremost, their subsidy plan to build a factory in Arizona will go up in smoke. Under the provisions of the Chip and Science Act, TSMC was originally eligible to receive up to $6.6 billion in subsidies to build factories in the United States, as well as low-interest loans that could reach $5 billion and enjoy a 25% tax credit. However, with Trump once again taking office as President of the United States, these preferential measures are likely to evaporate. For TSMC's Arizona factory, this is undoubtedly a heavy blow. The factory is now like a wet cotton-padded jacket in winter. It feels cold when wearing it and also feels cold when taking it off. The situation is very embarrassing. In addition, TSMC may also face additional tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. During his first term, Trump implemented a sugar and stick policy to guide the transfer of chip manufacturing to the United States by raising tariffs on foreign companies and lowering taxes on American companies. So, can mainland China's chip industry break through in this game? Although Trump has once again entered the White House, his true nature as a businessman has not changed. Businessmen always put profit first, so the big business of chips is undoubtedly a top priority for him. The chip industry is not only related to the development of traditional fields such as smartphones, laptops, automobiles, and military industry, but is also closely connected with cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, communications, and quantum technology. As the world's largest consumer and importer of chips, China's annual chip imports are as high as $2 trillion, even exceeding the import of oil. This also means that China is particularly vulnerable to the risk of chip supply cuts. The Trump administration is also good at using blacklist methods. It has included 306 Chinese high-tech companies such as HUAWEI, SMIC, Sugan, and Hikvision on the entity list to restrict their purchase of advanced computing equipment. Chips, communication chips and semiconductor equipment. Although in the short term, China has suffered a considerable impact. For example, Huawei was once unable to produce 5G mobile phones and was forced to use Qualcomm's mid to low-end 4G chips. At the same time, other chip companies have also suffered varying degrees of blows. However, difficulties also contain opportunities. The government, enterprises, universities and individuals have reached an unprecedented consensus that only through independent research and development can the development of China's science and technology be promoted. Many companies have increased investment in independent research and development. Huawei's R&D expenses have surged to an astonishing 160 billion renminbi. Xiaomi has also increased its R&D budget for 2025 to 30 billion renminbi. BYD's R&D expenses are close to 40 billion renminbi, and Honor, which has just become independent, has also increased its R&D expenses to 10 billion renminbi. China's chip manufacturing process has advanced to the 7 nanometers level, and photolithography technology has also made significant progress, including important breakthroughs in immersion DUV technology and EUV technology. In terms of market share of mature process chips, China continues to expand its advantages and currently accounts for 1/3 of the global market. This fully shows that the so-called chip blockade in the United States not only failed to achieve the expected results, but also strengthened the determination of independent research and development of domestic chips. China has firmly stepped on the difficulties that once seemed unattainable. Looking to the future, China is confident that in the near future, domestic chips will counterattack, catch up and surpass their opponents.